I mean, that's a dangerous game playing with gain of function. Obviously, in retrospect, we know that. In 2020, I went deep into this because, I mean, quite frankly, I just didn't like being censored. I wanted to be asked questions, and I got to talk to a lot of people. And, that film, The Pandemic 2 Indoctrination, was Dr. David Martin going into detail with literally just paper trails. There was no even opinions in that film. And he walked everybody through all the research you're talking about, all the paper trail from North Carolina to Fauci to Wuhan to everything. But I mean, back in August 2020, the public didn't want to hear lockdowns were bad, let alone the virus came from Wuhan, let alone anything vaccine related. And the technology channels weren't going to allow it to happen. So, but I mean, that's something that was explained to us 3 years ago now at this point.
I mean, Brian, to go back to your question about January, February 2020 and the mindset of public health and the motivations. Okay, put yourself in the shoes of Francis Collins, Tony Fauci, Jeremy Farrar. They must have been thinking that they'd opened Pandora's box, that the virus that was like very clearly spreading around the world, looking to cause a massive pandemic, killing millions of people. It was partly because they supported this dangerous research. It's their virus in a sense, right? I mean, not exactly. I mean, it's an accident, but it's there. They supported the work that led to the creation of this virus. Potentially, that's maybe that's exactly what they're thinking, right? Maybe that's what they're thinking in January 2020. What would you do if you opened Pandora's box, Brian? You'd want to close it. You'd want to make sure no one thought you were responsible. You'd want to take every single bit of power you have to try to like undo the damage from it.
And so that's what they were trying to do. You think they overreacted because they either felt personally responsible or were worried about being accused of that they locked down more than they should?
Yeah, I think so. I think what I would worry about is I would worry about COVID deaths. Every death then is on my conscience. Every COVID death is on my conscience. The lockdown, they're prominent, incredibly brilliant public health scientists. I think Francis Collins is one of the best scientists of the latter half of the 20th century with the Human Genome Project, probably one of the most consequential in history. He's not dumb. I mean, these people understand that the measures they were doing were going to harm people. They knew that. They had to have known that. They could not know that. But for them, every death from starvation in some poor part of the world was a secondary thing, not really directly related to something they had done. Whereas every COVID death was something they had opened Pandora's box. Every COVID death wouldn't have happened but for that. And every COVID death they could prevent was one fewer notch on their conscience. I mean, that is, I don't know if this for certain, but that is my, based on what, like putting myself in their shoes, what I would have done or what I would have thought. I think it's very likely that they had some of that running through their head.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And again, it's very easy to vilify these people and say they're evil, but they're not. They're actually they're humans just like all of us. And they made some decisions that don't look correct. But I appreciate that you frame it that way, because they're thinking, oh my gosh, I really got to worry about that type of death and not that other type of death. And so it helps us understand their decisions a little bit better. I also wonder the fear and terror they had of causing that, like what happens when it turns into elation, when you realize potentially how much money you're going to make off of a potential vaccine. I'm wondering what that transition is like as well, if that's possible for some of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Tony Fauci, Francis Collins, Jeremy Farrar, I don't think they were thinking about the money. I mean, maybe they were, but I don't. That doesn't strike those. They don't strike me as the kind of people that worry that much about the money. I think they care deeply about their reputation. But I do think that for them, it's. We talked about this earlier. You can tell yourself stories, right? So, like the death from somebody from the economic damage you do from lockdown in the poor parts of the world. I'm just going to pretend it's not going to happen. We'll figure out a way around it. We'll borrow enough money. We'll do something to try to address it later. That's something we deal with later. And maybe I'm going to pretend like it's possible to stop it from happening, even though it was happening almost immediately after the lockdowns were implemented. You got 1,000 people die from the Indian lockdown on the first day of it, because they were Prime Minister Modi forced 500 million people to evacuate the big cities to go back to the small villages, including very, very poor people. 1,000 died en route. So you had like, maybe you tell yourself those don't matter. Those we can deal with. It's the thing that I caused for the Pandora's box being open with the virus spreading. That's what matters. Every death from that is on my conscience. That's, I think, partly what was going on there. I mean, it would be really, really a service to humanity if at least one or more of them were to actually write honestly about that.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.